The Orphan and the Hidden Treasure. I still remember the day I saw her sitting alone in the corner of the dusty yard, her eyes filled with tears. That was the day my life changed forever. Her name was Amina, and she was my cousin. Orphaned at a young age, she came to live with us after her parents passed away. But instead of love, she found only cruelty in our home. Amina's aunt, my mother, was a strict woman. She had little patience for Amina's sadness. "You are not my child," she would often say, her voice sharp like a knife. "You must work hard and earn your keep." Amina was made to do all the chores, cleaning, cooking, and fetching water from the river. While I played with my friends, she toiled under the hot sun, her small hands blistered and tired. I watched as Amina endured the harsh treatment. She never complained, but I could see the pain in her eyes. Sometimes, when the moon was high and the world was quiet, would sneak out to sit with her. "Why don't you tell your aunt how you feel?" I asked one night, the stars twinkling above us. Amina shook her head. "She won't listen. I am just a burden to her." Her words pierced my heart. I wanted to help her, but I was just a child, powerless against my mother's authority. One day, while Amina was gathering firewood, she stumbled upon an old, rusty box half buried in the ground. Curious, she dug it out and opened it. Inside, she found a collection of beautiful, shimmering stones. They sparkled in the sunlight, and Amina's eyes widened in wonder. She had never seen anything like them before. Excited, she rushed home to show my mother. But instead of joy, my mother's face twisted in anger. "These are worthless," she shouted, throwing the stones aside. "You think you can bring me treasure? You are just a foolish girl." Amina's heart sank, and she quietly picked up the stones, hiding them in her tattered dress. That night, Amina sat alone in her corner, clutching the stones tightly. I could see her tears glistening in the moonlight. "Why don't you sell them?" I whispered, hoping to lift her spirits. "Maybe they are worth something." Amina shook her head. "I don't know how. I'm just a poor orphan." I wanted to help her, but I didn't know how either. So, we kept the secret of the stones between us. Days turned into weeks, and Amina continued to work hard, her spirits slowly fading. But one day, a traveling merchant came to our village. He was a tall man with a long beard and a twinkle in his eye. He set up a stall in the market, displaying all sorts of goods. Amina watched from a distance, her heart racing. Maybe this was her chance. Gathering her courage, she approached the merchant, her hands trembling. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. "I found these stones. Do you think they are worth anything?" She opened her hand, revealing the shimmering treasures. The merchant's eyes widened in surprise. "Where did you find these?" he asked, his voice filled with excitement. "These are not just stones, they are precious gems. You could be very rich." Amina's heart raced. "Really?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes. I will buy them from you," the merchant said, pulling out a pouch filled with coins. Amina's hands shook as she accepted the money, her dreams of a better life suddenly within reach. With her newfound wealth, Amina decided to leave our village. She wanted to start fresh, away from the cruelty of her aunt. I watched as she packed her few belongings, a mix of sadness and hope filling my heart. "Will you come back?" I asked, tears in my eyes. Amina smiled gently. "I will never forget you. You were my only friend." And with that, she left, her spirit shining brighter than ever. Years passed, and I often thought of Amina. I heard whispers in the village about a successful woman who had built a school for orphans and a hospital for the sick. I never imagined it could be her. But one day, I received a letter with a beautiful seal. It was from Amina. In her letter, she wrote about her journey. She had traveled to the city, where she learned about business and investments. With her gems, she had started a jewelry company that grew rapidly. She had become a billionaire. But more importantly, she had not forgotten her roots. She was using her wealth to help others, just like her. Amina invited me to visit her in the city. When I arrived, I could hardly recognize her.